Joe Perez present.
Alexandra Flores present.
Javier Ramirez present.
Rick Villarreal present. I do declare a quorum. And for the record, Mr. Joel Garcia is out. Do I have a motion
I
to
so
excuse?
move to excuse
I
Mr.
second.
Garcia.
A motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, invocation and pledge of allegiance. Anybody want to lead us? Usually been asking somebody to do it. Okay, I'll go ahead and lead us. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we come before you, God Almighty, to ask you, dear Lord, to forgive us of our sins, Lord. And dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for sending your Son. Dear Lord, ask that your Spirit guide us in this meeting, dear Lord. Help us be better leaders and better stewards of this city, dear Lord, Heavenly Father, through thick and thin and hot and cold, dear Lord. We know you're there. And we ask all these things in your precious, heavenly, and holy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. Okay, next item. Certified posting of agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and council members, the agenda was duly posted as required by state law at least 72 hours prior to the start of the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Annette. Public comments, we have Mr. Michael Leo.
Real quick, Mayor, just for the benefit of the public, as a reminder, we having on Saturday, we have our community festival, our 50th anniversary celebration, a great celebration. We're looking forward to it. We want to remind the public, the highlight of the night will be Grupo Signo, along with Grupo Alianza, the Palmview Conjunto Group, as well as some local entertainment. We have school performances from some of the local schools, E.B. Reina, Palmview High School, Mission Boys and Girls Club, La Jolla Boys and Girls Club, La Jolla Youth Club. And we also have carnivals throughout the day. The carnival will be there Friday and Saturday. The carnival rides for adults and for kiddie rides as well. An ATV show that promises to be great. They're going to be doing a tour around the city escorted by our police department, showcasing the ATVs, which is very popular here in our community. So again, we just remind the public this Saturday, 3 o'clock till about 11 o'clock after Grupo Signo is done. Come, it's free for the community. This is an opportunity to just join us and celebrate in a safe environment. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for organizing, and staff as well, and everybody that, that we didn't mention. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, business community and members of the community also, that helped to have this 50-year anniversary come to fruition this Saturday, right? And I also want to thank all the former elected officials, and we had a little dinner recognition last Thursday as well. I just want to thank everybody who's helped make this city what it is today. And I'll say it again, it is on our watch right now, but it is what the, past leaders and visionaries did to have us where we're at now here on our watch. So we want to thank them and us as well, because we're all doing as best as we can to make this city a better place. And then, of course, all the other, the future that is coming to this city, right? From elected officials to business owners to residents. Believe me, this is a good little town to live in, work in, work, and play here. And we love Palmview, and that's why we chose to serve, right? And that's why you all are working for Palmview too. So thank you all. Yeah. Any other comments from anybody in reference?
If anybody were from the community would want to participate in the trail ride, where would they call, or where can they get more information? Do we have that?
Call 956, our main number, 956-432-0300. Officer de la Rosa is coordinating, but anybody can help with the initial information. 956-432-0300.
0300 and ask for Officer de la Rosa. Okay.
You also mentioned the carnival being there on Friday. At what times would that be?
Correct. Confirm. Friday and Saturday? Okay. 6 to 10 on Friday, and Saturday from 3 to 10.
Okay, 6 to 10. So it's after-school activities. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Awesome.
Any other questions? And if they have any questions, they can reach us on our webpage, right, here at the City of Palmview. and/or you can call 956-432-0300, and you can be led, or you can be led into the department. Just listen to the recorded operator, or come by and visit our city hall here and get some information.
Is there a fee for the trail ride? Like if they want to participate, or they just jump in? No fee. Okay, it's free.
No fee for the trail ride. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be nice. So thank you all, and thank you, community and neighboring communities as well. Everybody's welcome with a big open heart. Thank you. First item up after the public comments, mayoral proclamation, item 6.1, National Fire Prevention Week is October 9th through 15th. So with that said, our proclamation by the state of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of Palmview, whereas the City of Palmview Fire Department is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our city, whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire, and whereas smoke alarms sense smoke well before we can, alerting us to danger in the event of fire in which we may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely, and working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires by half. And whereas Palmview residents should make certain that everyone in a home understand the sound of alarm and know how to respond. Palmview residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas Palmview first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education, Palmview residents that are responsive to public
Here, and we always want to be proactive when it comes to things like this, of this nature, because as we all know, we never know when a fire or something may happen, and we want to ensure that we reach as many people as possible, children, young adults, on what to do and what not to do, things of that nature. But thank you all so much, greatly appreciate it, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Bless you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Chief. Thank you for all your work. Any comments, any questions? Again, thank you, Chief. Item 6.2, Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so proclamation by the state of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of Palmview, whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity as well, due to systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control. Domestic violence extends to the abuse of children and the elderly. And whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economical, racial, and societal barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and societies as a whole, here in this community, throughout the United States and the world. And whereas the Palmview Police Department is working to educate the public about the resources available for victims of domestic violence in collaboration with Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's Office, Hidalgo County Family Violence Task Force, and other local groups and agencies. And whereas survivors of domestic violence themselves have been at the forefront of efforts to bring peace and equality to home, domestic violence can no longer be treated as a silent epidemic. Now, therefore, I, Ricardo Villarreal, Mayor of the City of Palmview, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2022, as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Citizens are urged to actively participate in scheduled activities and programs to work toward eradicating domestic violence, improving victim safety, and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims and our society as a whole. I, Mayor Rick Villarreal, proclaimed this Domestic Violence Awareness Month on this 18th day of October 2022. Chief, go ahead and we'll do the same. Come on up. Here you go. Take a picture and honor him. Everybody.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council.
Good
Interim Chief
afternoon.
Justice
Good
Sepulveda
afternoon.
for the Palmview Police Department. I'd like to thank you for the proclamation, and I'd like to let you all know reassure you that the Palmview Police Department will take domestic violence quite seriously and will continue to do so every step of the way. Representing us today were our crime victim liaison, Ms. Deborah Hernandez, and officers Ruben Peña, Eduardo de la Rosa, and Matthew Espinosa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments, anybody?
Yes, I'd like to remind the public that domestic violence is a very serious issue. And as I served as a municipal judge here for a year and a half, and a lot of the issues that would arise here were domestic violence. And I can attest to what Chief Sepulveda said about our policemen here. We do not put up with domestic violence. And for women or children or anybody that suffers from domestic violence, get help. Mujeres Unidas, there's just so many resources out there for our public. Take advantage of that. And there's no reason for anyone to go through any kind of domestic violence. Please get help. Thank you.
Good point, thank you.
Yes, to add to that, in the school system, we see a lot of students dealing with issues at home, and it's very hard to know that there's not much we can do. Our hands are tied. So we do thank all the officers in the community that do have to handle these situations, that it is hard, it is tough. And there are resources out there for the families to get some type of assistance, of family counseling, to where, because as parents, being a parent, you don't have
to the residents in the surrounding 200-foot radius, and we have not received any letters in favor or against. After discussion, the Planning and Zoning Board did vote to approve the rezone request to general business.
Where exactly is it?
It's just
Located?
north of the Burger King.
North?
So there's a property on the east side,
Oh, okay.
just north of the Burger King, right there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that whole property would be
Oh,
commercial.
okay. Sí, sí, sí.
A franchise restaurant, a really
Yes.
good restaurant that we're excited about. And
Yes.
hopefully we'll be making announcements real soon.
Okay. Any other input by anybody? Rudy, anything else?
No, sir.
Just help speed the process up with permits?
Yes, yes.
Bless you.
As soon as we get the information, we'll review it.
We're gonna make reservations for the first table.
So is everything going well with that?
They've submitted a subdivision plat so far.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, we haven't received anything else, but I think they're looking at getting some information from the water and the sewer and stuff like that.
I would add that we talked to the applicant yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he went back to his corporate team and said, hey, I want to make a bigger location. I believe it's going to be more popular in the weekends, more
okay.
popular. So their architects are actually making it bigger. And there were some challenges with the sewer and the sewer project. However, the MDD actually afforded a contingency plan in the event that the sewer wasn't ready to connect, and that's going to come into place, so it doesn't hold up the project either.
Okay.
Good, great. Anything else, Mr. Flores?
No, sir.
All right. I guess, do what? A2. Yeah, okay, we'll go to A2. No, I don't need the time on that one. A2, consideration of rezoning from its present-day land designated use zoning agricultural open rim to multifamily residential, 1.06 acre tract of land out of the north, 330 point acres? Not 30 acres, or is it 30
Yeah,
acres?
30.
It reads there 30 acres, or is it
Oh, sorry, no, it should be 3.
.3? Okay, well,
3 acres or
Wait.
3
acres.
It should be 3. 3 acres.
Three,
No.
3 road, one brought to us. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. Public hearing on needs assessment for Urban County Program, CDBG year 36, 2023.
Yes, sir. This is a public hearing to allow any of the public input for needs in the city for the Urban County project. Previous year's funds for that we've used them for is Silverado Street just got completed, and our next project would be Business Center Drive and Palo Blanco. So they did submit information to us so we can start the process for those already.
Timeline just for the public's sake?
For Business Center and Palo Blanco, actually to probably start construction, I would probably say another 2 to 3 months
Can you
maybe.
get us an update at the next
Yes.
meeting?
Yes, we can. And also for our future project would be the 2023 funds. We're considering possibly Via Rama East, Mod Street, Ram Avenue, Triple J Drive, or PTJ Drive. We would have to get our engineer to do an exhibit and a study on these to see which ones.
Are those the
would be
only
affordable.
streets that we can address through
So
CDBG?
far, we're limited to the south side and then not all of the south of the expressway. So these are some that haven't identified. We're still looking into it further, but those
Please.
are the ones.
Yeah, look into it, comb in,
Yes.
because sometimes we miss a street and we, don't want to leave a stone unturned.
Yes.
So we're gonna get a
You
list.
mentioned in 3 months for those streets?
No,
Or-
for the last year's project,
Oh, yeah,
which is for Business Center and Palo Blanco.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
By the summer.
that's either or
No,
both?
that's both. That
Okay.
one was already approved last year, but we're going through the actual construction process.
Yeah, Palo Blanco is in
Yes.
serious need
Yes.
of some.
The entrance, especially that
better-
entrance.
Yeah,
Since the business center, how's that drainage or the holding up
Very well,
the retention pond?
very well. Even with the heavier rains that we got about a month ago, there were still, you could see it had a lot of capacity. It didn't even completely where you couldn't see any land at all. So
Wonderful.
cleaning up of the debris, making it deeper has helped. And of course, we know to monitor it. So if it gets even closer filled and more rain coming, then we can start pumping and we don't have to wait. But it's held up.
Is it easy for our equipment to get in there and maintain it?
Right now it is because we have an agreement with the property owner from the La Homa side that's giving that agreement, and we have to continue to work with that agreement. So we are relying on him continuing to allow us to do that. The long-term plan would be to practically purchase a right-of-way from the front end of the expressway with the
Okay.
property coming from the
Yes.
expressway. And that we've been, in discussions with the property owner.
All right. Next item, 8.4, consideration to rezone from its present-day designated land use zoning agricultural open interim to multifamily residential and general business at Benson Grove. And I'll let you give us the coordinates.
Yes, this tract is located along the south side of Veterans Boulevard, approximately 535 feet east of Benson Palm Drive. The applicant is requesting a multifamily to construct apartments and general business to construct a business along Benson Palm Drive. The property is currently vacant and would need to be subdivided prior to construction. There were 19 letters that were sent to the residents in the surrounding 200-foot radius, and there has been one letter returned opposing only the multifamily portion of the rezone. After discussion, the Planning and Zoning Board did vote to approve the rezone request for multifamily and general business, but with the condition that both frontage areas of the property, because this property is an L, so it starts off on 490 on Veterans, and then it runs south and then comes west towards Benson Palm. So the condition that they had was that both frontage on Veterans and on Benson Palm would be a general business. And the owner or the applicant is in agreement with that as well.
So this is the one we have here in front of us.
Yes,
this
and we do
long
have
one.
Mr. Muniz here
Okay.
to answer any questions.
I'm sorry, the planning and zoning said with the conditions that, what was that again for the entrances of the?
With the frontage
Uh-huh.
areas of that property, be zoned as general business.
You're talking about
With-
495 as well?
Yes, veterans
495.
and Benson Palm
And
Drive.
Benson
Yes,
Palm Drive.
and then the multifamily would be all behind that.
And they agreed upon that?
But yes, we do have Mr. Muniz here. Yep.
No.
So what part of the front of Benson, like how many feet or?
This part?
Actually, this is the same that I brought the last time, and they just gave me that condition. So basically, if you see right now, the one on Benson, is gonna be exactly the same on 495.
How many feet from the street?
There's gonna be, right here,
Just asking,
around 200 feet.
200 feet, that's plenty for
That's,
business. or
it's gonna
for-
be like a half an acre for each, 495 in Benson.
And how many units are you gonna, how many
Around
apartments?
well, on this one, it comes 125, but once we remove for the commercial, it's gonna come down to 110 units. 110 units, each entrance is gonna have five, a little plaza for 5 buildings.
Is there gonna be, I know there's still space to go to the frontage road. What is that gonna be? Is that a different owner, or is that the same owner? The place on the frontage road, from the frontage road,
Oh, that's a different
Oh.
property.
that's a different property?
Different property, yes.
That would be strictly,
Yeah. but
commercial, right?
That's commercial.
Frontage, because you're on the back, the frontage is north, south of where you're at.
So is there gonna be
And
like a
there's-
wall, I'm sorry to interrupt. Like a wall or fence or something
Yes.
dividing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's what was a little confusing to me,
Right
is
here.
how that was gonna be like.
With the interlocal cooperation agreement concerning the certain improvements to Veterans Boulevard, any questions?
Real quick, again, this is for the 495 expansion that we've been working on in conjunction with Hidalgo County. We had a meeting with the county and their engineers last week. This is the agenda. There are some highlighted points of interest. But again, this just allows the project to move forward. They're still saying we should be letting out at the end of 2023 with construction to hopefully, if we're lucky, the end of 2023, if not early 2024.
The only thing I can probably, have, that networking with them and staying in touch with them, because sometimes we forget and they forget, and then all of a sudden, nothing gets done, and we're already providing this monies,
Right.
that were not in the plan. And, I think our city and our council and the staff did a tremendous job in kind of looking for these funds to provide for the 5-lane, 495 expansion. So, we would like just to get, either meetings quarterly with them to see what is timelines, and kind of remind them that we're still here, and a lot of times we don't say anything, and then they kind of get busy somewhere else when we already, spent this money. So, I would like to, just to meet with them quarterly and to find out when the exact timeline is, so we can have communications with our community as well.
Just don't ask for more money.
I second that.
The meeting last week was very fruitful, so I think it would be good for you guys to hear from them. We talked about the reimbursements and how they're handled from
Okay.
how the county was getting reimbursement, and that's actually, they clarified that, so the county's not getting more than we are, we're still putting in the same amount. It's just the county is fronting the money completely out of their pocket, and they're getting reimbursed 80%. The remaining 20% is not reimbursable, and we're sharing that cost with the county. But they're only getting reimbursed because they're literally putting the money up front, so they're not getting, we're worried that, they're getting reimbursed and we're not. But hey, we don't. But they did ask us about our right of way, if we were open to donating it to the project. I told them we didn't factor that into our models and paying back this money, but, for future consideration, we might look at it.
Sure.
This expansion is really gonna beautify our city, guys. It's gonna be something that, it's gonna be big. And I'm real excited, and I'm anxious to see construction begin.
Any reason why it was pushed from the summer of 2023 now to late fall?
nature of the business. For the most part, the right-of-way acquisitions, they did say a lot of them have had to go to condemnation or through the special assigned commissioners. And they contest the values and it has to go through a process. So that's taken up just time and money, actually. That's why these dollar amounts went tremendously.
As long as we can keep it in the 2023 fall timeline,
That
would
would be
be good. I think we've waited enough.
before.
And a few months will not hurt, but as long as we can keep the timeline close with them so we can make sure it does happen soon.
We're still pending some parcels to be,
Yeah, I think there's only 12 that are
Acquired?
pending now. They took care of the smaller priced ones. They took the majority of them. I think out of 82, they took care of 70. I think there's just 12 pending. And then 12 more with the money that we are now putting in to close it out. So they're about, maybe 80% on the right-of-way acquisition.
Okay,
so we're moving forward regardless.
I think
of those 12
this
that are pending.
concludes everything, right? This is all the money on our end.
At this point, yeah.
At this point,
That's
yes,
what we're
and the
hoping.
county did their part as well.
As long as there's no more overruns on the right-of-way, this should be the end of it, because when it comes to construction, TxDOT is putting close to 20 million, so it's a great value that we're getting for our, 5 million, we're getting back 20 million.
20.
Any overruns on the construction because of increased
They
costs,
take care
that's
of
on TxDOT. That's on TxDOT, so our responsibility ends with the right-of-way acquisition.
And this will finalize the widening of 495 all the way from where is it, Donna? It starts
From
over in,
Homa.
well, in the city, but I mean, and when they talk about the county, it's San Juan, Donna area, somewhere out there. And
Yeah, I know
this'll,
Mercedes are doing it also.
this is where it ends, and it'll be a 5-laner all the way over there, and it'll have sidewalks as well. So
It-
on both sides.
It ends here, but it begins here.
It begins here too, yes, sir. Hey, okay, so we took a vote. I believe I had a motion and a second. Any other questions?
I do have one more question.
Go ahead.
Was Awasad involved in this meeting? Are they involved at all just because they're
Not in this
lines
meeting, but
are?
they do have to be involved, and they are in the discussions, because they're gonna have to relocate some water lines. And, they were involved with the sewer, and they were advised where to put the sewer lines, so it didn't affect with the project. But the water lines that have been there for a while, they may have to move them, basically. And it's probably gonna be at their expense, so there are some questions, how I'm gonna be able to do that at their expense, and hopefully that doesn't hold up the project. But that's something, that's an important question, I think we need to make sure we have.
Maybe we should meet with
discussions
them
with
soon,
our
just to
Awasad.
make sure it doesn't delay
Yeah.
it
That
anymore.
could be a factor.
Okay.
All right, so we have a point of contact for the city, Rudy or Cesar, for this project?
I think both of them will be the point of contact.
All right, so quarterly, every couple of months, just keep us posted, and with AWA as well, I think we need to
Awa.
follow up with AWA. I know we've reached out several times and we just got no response from the people at AWA, but it doesn't hurt to try again, because it is our city, and we're trying to do as best as we can for our citizens and for, our community. All right, so motion a second. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, 9.2, update on capital improvement projects, staffed by Mr. Leo.
Mayor, real briefly, you guys have a handout here, so for the purposes of the benefit of the public, on the areas damaged by the sewer project, La Homa, South La Homa, and South Braco, I know council's been pushing for this. We already got a formalized quote for South La Homa. We have the agreement finalized by legal. Our engineers are touching it up. The contractor expected to have that by tomorrow. Could start paving South La Homa, that damage, the damage section, in the next couple of weeks, and it shouldn't take no more than 45 days. They say they can do it in less, but the project gives them 45 days. In conjunction with that, South Brayvogel from the Expressway 283 as well, Cordia Construction, who's doing the North Streets, via change order, they're gonna be doing South Brayvogel, so we expect those streets hopefully be paved, it's to at least start in the, before the end of the month, or in the next, 3 weeks, give or take, to be done by the end of November. I know the public's been asking about that one. We put up updates on our streets to the north, and hey, what about South La Homa, what about South Brayvogel? And again, we were
That money, your money. So I want to remind you that this council here has stood up for the residents of South La Homa because you deserve it.
Good point. I think not only South La Homa, but
And
literally all the
Brayvogel and
streets.
all the other
Yeah,
streets,
all the other
correct.
streets that have been adversely affected, and I know I've been, accused of being at fault for a lot of this, and really, and I'll put my face on it. Really, it's a cooperation effort between us and AWA. And we're at that point already where legal action has already been taken against AWA. And we're gonna join in on the lawsuit as well. And like Mr. Ramirez said, recuperate the money.
Correct.
That we're pulling out of our pockets that we had already paid for our part of it. So believe you me, there's a lot of good things that are coming, and that sewer project is 4 years overdue. And we're still not done, and we're gonna continue to ask for your patience and ask for your support as we continue to iron out these little quirks, or big quirks, right? And hopefully in the end, what these parts of the project that have been held up because of all the, issues that are going on, once we're done with those, and we will be done with them, we're gonna go ahead and continue to move forward and move this city forward as best as we can. So, I'm just adding to what Mr. Ramirez, said, we care about you all. This project is 30 years overdue. And we finally got it here, this commission. And some of the prior mayors and prior commissioners that were here too had a lot to do with bringing this project, which other commissioners couldn't do it and other mayors couldn't do it. We got it done, and we're at the tail end of this. So, and we're gonna hold true to our word, and we'll get it done for you, because of you and to you. So thank you. Anybody else? So thank you, Mr. Leo as well, and Rudy, for, hearing the people on the south side, and all of us, right? Because we're all hearing them. And putting this part of the project on South La Homa up. And I believe we're also gonna do Brayful as well. So that's coming up. That's also coming, and that's your taxpayers' money being put to use,
Very true.
for you. And so thank you.
I just want to
Anybody
thank
else?
everyone for being so patient. We drive through those streets as well, and we experience, all of the imperfections. But as Mayor said, and Commissioner Ramirez, your tax-paying money is going back to fixing these imperfections. And rest assured, any other deficiencies or anything that we can improve on, we will make sure and assure financial transparency to the community, that's what it's being used for.
Thank you, and thank you for those good words and honest words to the public. 9.3, update on solid waste collection effort.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Item 9.3, update on solid waste collections. Just let you all know, we're up to $15,346. We have a total of 158 customers still left to visit with them and try to get them up to date with the rest of the list that we have.
Good job.
What's that, do you have a percentage?
The percentage right now, it's like 70.
70?
We still have left, yeah.
From the non-collected?
Yeah.
Well, that's
We
not-
started with 225 customers,
I
we're at
remember.
158.
Wow,
And
Good.
we're at 15,000
from
from the,
nothing to
Are
something.
those same practices that you all providing, or is there gonna be other methods to kind of bring those, because there's still 158?
yeah, we're still implementing that. We did hire already the employee that will follow up with
Okay.
regularly now. with
What is the contingency plan here if these 158 continue to?
We're at the point that we're picking up their trash cans already. And that's what this new employee will be doing with the Department of Solid Waste, going out there and, well, I mean, we've been tagging since day one, and we're at that right now, that we are going to pick up the cans, and, of course, that same day, if they come in, we're taking the can back the same day. So those are the efforts that we do have planned. Once we do have our own system, well, our driver will not service that can that day. And if they do come in, we'll send the driver back. So it's gonna be more efficient
Yes.
as we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
So much for that.
Thank you.
Keep doing a good job, all of you. Item 9.4, discussion and possible action approving the amendment to the contract solid waste collection and disposal with BFI Waste Service of Texas.
Mayor, this is where our existing contract with Republic Services for the trash, they give us till the end of March while we're waiting for our equipment to come in. They've been working well with us on these extensions, so they'll work with us. We did just get word that the trucks, while we hope to get them by the end of March, it might be a little bit, there might be a delay. So we're working with the vendor to see what the schedule is and see if there's any other options, and we'll probably be coming back to council in the near future to give you an update on that.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any other questions? Thank you for the input. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. 9.5, discussion and possible action to enter into an interlocal agreement with the City of La Jolla for municipal animal shelter
I
services.
want to make a motion.
Motion?
Second.
There's a second. Questions?
La Jolla has some animals on.
They do.
They're starting one, they
Oh,
had one,
great.
and
That's
but because
good.
of the rising cost, they're bringing it back, alive, so to speak. They're partnering with us in Alton, because we were paying, the rate of admission went up over $200. La Jolla offered for $135 an animal. We negotiated at our last workshop with $120, so we're set at $120, so we'll save on that end. We take them over there, and if an owner wants to reclaim their pet or the animal, they pay Palmview a $20 fee, and they get a clearance letter, and they're able to retrieve the animal.
Oh, okay, that's
From the
awesome.
table.
That's
So
great.
we're not any more with Mission.
And once we do this, we're gonna have to give notice to Mission, and then 30 days, and then we'll be officially transitioned.
We're saving money and making money.
And their capacity? Good
They have
point.
a lot, that's what the capacity was a big issue, countywide, really everywhere, they're all having issues. So, yeah, La Jolla's starting from scratch, and they're gonna have good capacity.
Wow.
If you
Okay,
ask,
well, kudos to La Jolla.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you, La Jolla.
they have an advisory board, we'll be able to appoint somebody to that advisory board, and they're looking for recommendations for a veterinarian and somebody from the animal welfare organization, animal welfare organization. So keep that in mind for a future meeting, if you guys can think of somebody to recommend, so we can recommend it to La Jolla, to have somebody on those boards.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And thank you to La Jolla working together with other cities for the betterment of everybody. Had a motion, a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. 9.6, discussion and possible action to initiate termination of interlocal agreement with the City of Mission.
I want to
Animal
make a
Shelter.
motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 9.7, discussion and possible action to approve proposed city vehicle policy for inclusion into the current city's policy and procedure manual.
I want to make a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second.
You wanna
Questions?
Let us know.
Good afternoon, Council, Mayor. Jerry Villarreal, HR Director for the city. So I just want to give you a brief purpose of this policy is just basically is intended to ensure the safety and well-being of city employees, to facilitate the efficient and effective use of city resources, to minimize the city's exposure to liability, to monitor the use of city-owned vehicles, and to comply with IRS regulations relating to city vehicle usage for the city of Palmview. We want to really better keep track of our vehicles and take care of our assets, because it is cost effective on the maintenance and stuff. So want to keep better track of our usage of city vehicles.
And what would this city vehicle policy restrict this, or like what's gonna change, in other words?
It's just kind of giving guidance on, if there is, for your driver's license and driving records, if there's anything that's popped up, or, that an employee maybe has gotten in a situation where they get arrested or what, there's guidance on that and how we should proceed as management on addressing those certain issues. Another big topic is the safety and training. So everybody that's assigned or is able to use a city vehicle, now we're going to require them to take a basic driving course through the TML website and generate a certificate, so that way we can put it in their files and we can be more assured that we did our part on training them or having some type of sense of that, they went through a driving safety course. And then just the requirements on city vehicles. And then anything, maintenance as well, I added there, take-home vehicle as well. And any guidance on accidents involving city vehicles. And this guidance, I got it from TML. basically what the employee should do and what they need to do in case they get involved in an accident, and its steps. I generated ID cards for every vehicle, which also on there, it tells them what to do in case of an accident. Better helps me on the risk management side to report to TML and get all the information that's needed, so they don't really have to do a lot of, they don't really have to ask a lot of questions, because I provided everything that they need, basically, so.
Are all the vehicles marked already?
They should be, if not, as a matter of fact, I included in this policy, that's something that we're definitely working on. It's a big thing of us, that all vehicles, we're getting all vehicles marked as well. I'll get with Mr. Leo on that, just to make sure. We should be doing it no later than this month, to get them completed. It doesn't take much to send them over to get them marked.
Jerry, what kind of procedure do you guys use when you guys hire a new driver, to use those cars?
So when we hire a new driver, so basically the background check, which should really pop up any driving records that they might have had, and really
What
that
about drug and?
drug as well. We do
Yes.
a pre-drug
because-
test as well.
All right.
Yes, sir. And that's a separate, that's on the hiring side of the policy, but yes, we do a pre-employment drug screening plus the background check. So we offer conditional job employment pending on the background check. And usually that's where the driving record, if the position is really heavy focus on driving, obviously we want to be more, me as HR and risk management, I'm more well aware or
Do
more
you
vigilant.
guys
on
send
that.
it to random, like a random,
There's been the random drug testing has been a little touchy subject on drug testing lately with the TML. I know they put up but yes, we do randoms if need in the need be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, haven't done it in 2 or 3 years. But yeah, only on safety sensitive positions we're allowed to do random drug testing. Yes. So clerical really don't qualify. Obviously, it's not.
Anybody who drives or maneuvers a machine.
Heavy equipment as well. They fall
Heavy
under this.
equipment.
They fall under this policy as well. Just city equipment, vehicle usage. Yes.
Thank you.
And as obviously policy, they keep getting updated as we see the need. Something pops up. It's just something that we got to stay active and keep adding more to this to the language of the policy.
So good, we'll stay abreast with TML and and how to make sure they're clean, that our drivers are clean and that they're sound-minded and, that they're,
A lot of this policy, I do need help from, obviously the directors. So I'm not really out there to supervise, so the director should really help enforce the policy. So they see something wrong or an employee's off, it's also their responsibility to really assess and determine whether the employee's fit for duty on that day. They got to obviously get with HR to discuss, and then I usually go back and forth with city attorneys just to make sure we do things correctly and we don't really violate any employment rights the employee might have.
Doing great, Jerry, thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
thank you. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed? No, motion carries. 9-8,
I'll make a
discussion.
motion on the 9-8 for approval on the final plat for Elizondo Palmview Plaza subdivision.
Second.
Got a motion, a second. Questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. 9-9, discussion possible action or resolution to authorize submission of the grant application and related documents in connection with USDA CF equipment grant programs.
I'll make a motion.
I'm at a motion.
Second.
I got a second. Questions? You want to?
For the record, we already got awarded this grant. This is just a formality, get the paperwork and documents so we can get reimbursed about $45,000 for equipment for the new fire truck that we got earlier in the year, or last year.
All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 9-10, discussion and possible action to approve pay apps 1 and 2 from Texas Cordia Construction.
Make
For-
a motion.
Palmview improvement.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? I think he gave us the rundown already. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 9-11, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of an amendment to the interlocal cooperation agreement for tax assessment and collection with Hidalgo
Make a
County.
motion.
A motion,
Second.
second. Questions? Mike, you want to give us just a quick?
A small increase from the county who does all our tax collections for us. The amount went up by $11.52 for the year, so the total amount is $24,300.
Any other questions? Thank you for the update. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. 9:12, discussion and possible action to approve changes to the 2023 employee salary schedule, including amendment to the 2022-23 City of Palmview municipal budget.
Just real briefly, Mayor, this allows us to do some touch-up. There's no raises here included. We already did that in our last budget. But first, the good news is we're increasing our revenues in the amount of $120,000 due for Penitas for ambulance service, so $10,000 a month. We're gonna use most of that, about $80,000 to cover some EMS expenses. Part-time paramedic position, we're creating full-time basic, EMT basic, and we're allocating $30,000 for overtime in the event as needed. Reminder, we wanted 2 ambulance fully staffed anyways, just to serve Palmview alone. So having them help cover the cost to do that is a real plus for the city, and we get the benefit also. Not to mention the actual collections that we'll receive from actually doing the ambulance services from the billing. So this is a big plus for us. We reduced fire expenditures by almost $16,000 to just to have staff at the proper salary levels, which again previously included a 3% raise for all employees with over 1 year of service. We did some touch up on the PD side to make sure that we were in alignment where we needed to be. In the end, we had a surplus of $46,000, which we're right now in this budget is for contingencies, but council previously had directed us to allocate $50,000 towards beautification of city, so we want to start that initiative here real soon. So this will most likely go to those services.
I so move to approve.
I'll take Mr. Ramirez's motion.
Second.
And Mr. Pettis' second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Leo. And thank you, city staff, all of you, Annette, everybody. Ms. Irma, thank you as well for all of you. Monthly department reports. Do we have any questions on any specific department?
The reports are in your packets, again, covers either August or September. I'm just gonna highlight some real quick ones. City Secretary, 29 passports, 27 photos, another 1,500 in revenue for year-to-date, 12,000. For the passport initiative, which has proven really successful. She's an integral part of our events committee, so we want to thank Annette for all what she does for the city. Fire department, 173 calls in September with 130 being medical. As you can see, 75% of the volume at fire goes to EMS. Parks and Rec has over 517 kids in our programs going on between baseball, basketball, and football. As
How
well
many,
know, we have
117?
517.
That's
Wow.
incredible. Thank you, Mr.
335 baseball, 96 basketball, 86 flag football. Again, credit to Lou and his team over there. We just kicked off the youth club, as you all know. We're promoting it now for the registrations. It'll be $20 a month, $20 a year for a full year of participation in the youth club. We're targeting November 1 to open, and then the library is gonna follow very, very quickly. We've already ordered all the equipment and furniture. We're waiting on that to arrive, so we're really excited about that. We'll be sharing more information with the public in the near future. Planning and zoning, again, increase in permit fees, with additional inspections. Credit to Rudy and his staff and the team. Over $42,000 in additional revenue over the last 10-month period compared to the year prior. Not just a testament to their hard work, but the development that's happening in Palmview, and more things are happening in Palmview. You heard from Cesar earlier on the solid waste collections. Police, 1,500 calls for officer responses in August with 1,300 dispatch calls. And Public Works, aside from what they do day in and day out in our interviews, they pumped at Tulipan at the rain a couple of weeks ago. They put up signs at PTJ Drive. You know how we had the concern with PTJ Drive traffic signs, speed limits. We got a petition for speed humps, so those will be going up shortly. And we're hoping that'll, kind of curb all the traffic that's
PTJ?
going into that at PTJ.
Okay.
So again, thank you to Public Works and their team, but that's all we have unless anybody has any questions.
Well, good things are happening here, and I want to remind everyone, things don't happen overnight. I want to thank previous council members and, of course, the present council. Things don't happen overnight, folks. These things take time, and right now we're experiencing tremendous success here because we have the right people in the right place. Thank you so much for all the directors, Rudy, Mr. Lugo, Annette. You all do a fabulous job, a tremendous job. Thank you so much.
Yes, I wanted to ask about the Tierra Linda Canal. That one has already concluded. Whatever work was going to be done there, I just really would like to highlight the partnerships that we had with the precinct and with the drainage districts. I mean, it really was a team effort in planning and putting it all together. And you know, had that not happened, it could have been catastrophic for those individuals. Can we do something to, I guess, highlight them, thank them, make something, you know, to where we're thanking them publicly?
Absolutely, we'll work with Ms. Vargas on that. A very successful project, and you're right, it was literally in people's backyards, going past their
Caving
fence
in,
lines.
yes, their property was
So,
being
You know,
damaged.
credit to Precinct 3 and the Drainage District, they did that pretty quickly.
Mhm.
And again, they didn't stop there, they went across the street, across Green Road, and they're doing cleanup there also. So I think absolutely it's very worthwhile to make sure that we let our public know.
Yes, please, thank you.
Anybody else? Good points.
Last thing, Mayor, for executive session, we had 2 brief items, they were updates. No, you know, we're not in a rush, if you wanna wait, we can wait, and, you know, try to beat the weather, unless you wanna have them.
No, I'm okay. So what do we don't need, we can end the meeting without going into executive, right?
Correct.
No?
No, nothing for me.
Okay,
I so move to
okay.
Second.
adjourn.
Okay, so I had a motion, a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. I call this meeting adjourned at 7:14 on this beautiful October 18th. Thank you all. Have a good evening. Good night. Thank you all. God bless.
Waiting for the